no way back. For those seen as traitors, Prince Harry is said to cry hopelessly after King Charles sent a harsh message. The crown crumbles when royal bonds break. What would you do if your family, your heritage, and your entire legacy seemed to disown you overnight? Imagine standing at the edge of a fractured relationship with no way back. This is the reality Prince Harry reportedly faces after recent events with King Charles left the world stunned. The British monarchy, once a symbol of tradition and unity, now finds itself a battleground of bitter messages and broken ties. But what led to this dramatic fallout, and more importantly, is there really no way back for Harry? Let's peel back the layers of this royal feud. From whispered betrayals to a ruthless message from the king, the Harry and Meghan saga continues. In 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made the shocking decision to step back from royal duties, a move that stunned monarchists and skeptics alike and was widely covered by the media. This exit was the couple's way of escaping the suffocating constraints of royal life, but stepping away from the palace came at a heavy price. Stripped of royal privileges, Harry found himself facing a new reality. Did he anticipate the backlash? Probably not. And what about King Charles? Sources suggest his patience has worn thin over time. As the couple aired their grievances in explosive interviews, their narrative painted a grim picture of royal life. Yet, amidst their claims of freedom, critics argue that they cut ties without a clear plan for reconciliation. The ruthless message King Charles draws the line. The latest twist in this saga reportedly came in the form of a stern message from King Charles. After months of tension, it seems the monarch has reached his breaking point. According to insiders, the message was clear: loyalty to the crown is non-negotiable and actions have consequences. So, what was this ruthless ultimatum? While details remain closely guarded, one thing is clear: the monarchy has no room for perceived betrayal. Harry's emotional responses, captured in public appearances and whispered by royal insiders, show a man torn between two worlds. But can you blame Charles for his firm stance? Imagine being responsible for protecting an institution older than most modern nations, only to have a family member challenge its very foundation. Family or duty, this is the emotional toll of royal feuds. Let's pause and think. How does one balance loyalty to family with loyalty to duty? This is not just a royal dilemma, it's a universal challenge. Many of us face moments when family expectations clash with personal values or professional responsibilities. Harry's journey has revealed the fragility of familial bonds when tested by public scrutiny. In choosing to walk away, did he underestimate the personal cost? And for Charles, both a father and a king, where does one draw the line? As emotions run high within the monarchy, the silent code of honor has been shattered. For a family steeped in tradition, this isn't just a feud, it's a crisis. Lessons from the royals: the power of boundaries. Here's something we can all relate to. Setting boundaries is tough, but sometimes it's necessary. Whether you're dealing with a toxic workplace, an overbearing friend, or a strained family relationship, drawing the line can feel harsh, but it's also a step toward protecting your own well-being. For Charles, his message to Harry wasn't just about royal duty, it was about setting a boundary, one that says loyalty to the family is earned, not automatically given. For Harry, the tears he reportedly shed in response show the deep emotional weight of broken connections. It's a reminder that even when we think we're doing what's best for ourselves, the fallout can be devastating. What comes next? Is there hope for reconciliation, or is this the final curtain? The big question remains: is there truly no way back? For Harry, history shows us that royal feuds often come full circle. The Queen famously reconciled with Prince Philip after initial doubts about their marriage, and even Charles has faced storms within his own relationships. But Harry's situation feels different. The public airing of grievances, perceived betrayals, and emotional wounds make reconciliation seem like a difficult task. Still, hope remains. Time has a way of softening even the hardest hearts. Will we one day see Harry and Charles share a heartfelt reunion, or has the bridge been burned for good? Now, let's bring it back to you. Have you ever faced a fallout with someone you love? Did you draw a line in the sand, or did you fight for reconciliation? The royal family's drama reflects the challenges we all face: loyalty, forgiveness, and the cost of setting boundaries. So, what do you think? Should Harry and Charles find a way back to each other, or is this feud an example of when it's okay to walk away? Share your thoughts in the comments or with friends. Sometimes, by reflecting on someone else's story, we gain clarity for our own call to action. Let's rewrite the narrative. The story of Harry and King Charles isn't just about royalty, it's about humanity. Let's take a lesson from their struggles, whether it's about mending broken bonds or standing firm in our values. We all have the power to rewrite our own narratives. So, what's your next chapter? Spark a conversation, and let's explore how we can all navigate the challenges of family loyalty and personal growth. Together, we can turn even the most hopeless moments into opportunities for transformation, breaking free from the chains and finding redemption. Amid betrayal, every story has the potential for redemption, and even in the stormiest of feuds, there's often a moment where the clouds part. For Prince Harry and King Charles, that moment might not be on the horizon just yet, but it's worth considering what a path to healing could look like. Imagine the courage it would take for either party to extend an olive branch. Would Harry, bruised by rejection, muster the strength to reach out? Could King Charles, burdened by the weight of the crown, set aside his royal persona and embrace his role as a father or royal reset? What would it take to rebuild? Rebuilding broken relationships isn't easy, royal or not, but it starts with a few universal steps that anyone can apply. Let's discuss this together. What steps could help Harry and Charles bridge the divide? Acknowledging the hurt is the first step toward healing. Both sides must face the pain they've caused each other. For Harry, it's the heartbreak of feeling cast aside. For Charles, it's the hurt of sensing betrayal. Honest communication can either tear down or rebuild relationships. A sincere, private conversation far from cameras and outside influences might be the only path to reconciliation for this father and son. Forgiveness is key. It doesn't mean erasing the past, but releasing the anger that keeps the wounds open. Can Charles forgive Harry for choosing a different path? Can Harry forgive his father for the boundaries he created? In every disagreement, compromise is essential. Both need to meet in the middle. For Harry and Charles, this could mean reshaping their roles in each other's lives. Perhaps it's not about being a full-time royal or a constant father, but discovering a new balance that works for them. The media has played a significant role, with every whisper, rumor, and unverified story adding fuel to the fire of this royal conflict. As onlookers, are we contributing to the rift by feeding into the narrative? Social media is overflowing with opinions, some supportive, others harshly critical. But imagine how this story might change if we chose to promote reconciliation rather than taking sides. What if we encourage understanding instead of passing judgment? While we may not wear crowns or live in palaces, we all know the sting of public opinion. The pressure to meet expectations, whether in a royal setting or through online scrutiny, is something most of us can relate to. So why are we so captivated by royal drama? Is it the allure of their glamorous lives, the pull of ancient traditions, or the stark contrast to our everyday reality? Perhaps it's a mix of all three, inviting us into a world both familiar and extraordinary. It's a bit of all three. At its heart, the monarchy stands as a symbol of stability. Yet here we are, witnessing one of the world's most renowned families wrestle with challenges that feel so familiar: loyalty, betrayal, and the pursuit of happiness. This drama feels both relatable and surreal, like peering behind the velvet curtain of a fairy tale turned upside down. It reminds us that there's strength in vulnerability. Harry's tears and Charles's firm stance reveal a truth we often forget. Even the strongest among us have moments of fragility. And that's okay. Strength isn't about putting on a brave face, it's about confronting the storm with courage. For anyone struggling with family disputes, toxic relationships, or the sting of rejection, take this to heart: healing begins within. Before you can rebuild a relationship with someone else, you must find peace within yourself. Harry's story is far from over, just as yours is. Will he find his way back to the family that shaped him, or will he forge a completely new path? Only time will tell, but the journey toward healing is one we all can learn from. Only time will reveal the next chapter in this royal saga. But what about your next step? Reflect, connect, and inspire. What lessons can we draw from this family's struggles? Maybe it's a nudge to reach out to someone you care about, to set healthier boundaries, or to take a closer look at your own relationships. Now, the story is in your hands. What's your perspective on this royal drama? Do you believe there's hope for Harry and Charles to rebuild their bond, or are some bridges better left behind? Share your thoughts, whether you see this as a tale of redemption or a cautionary story. Pass this along to a friend who loves a bit of royal intrigue and leave a comment with your take. Let's unpack the themes of love, loyalty, and legacy together. Because no matter who you are, a prince or a bystander, one thing unites us: the enduring power of love and loyalty. And as the crown's legacy unfolds, it carries lessons for generations to come. One of the most striking elements of this royal saga is its potential impact on the next generation. For Prince Harry, this isn't just about mending his relationship with King Charles, it's about shaping the legacy he passes on to his children. Will Archie and Lilibet grow up as distant figures, disconnected from the monarchy and the heritage their father was born into? Or will they find a way to embrace their royal roots while carving out their own identities? The choices made today will echo through their lives tomorrow. For King Charles, this is also a defining moment not just as a father, but as a grandfather. The decisions he makes now have the power to either strengthen or fracture the connection between generations. His actions could influence whether the family grows closer or drifts further apart. Family conflicts rarely stay contained. Like ripples in a pond, their effects spread, touching friends, extended family, and even onlookers. In the case of the British royal family, these ripples often turn into waves, shaking the foundations of tradition and public perception. The foundation of a centuries-old institution like the monarchy feels unshakable, yet it too is subject to the ripple effects of family discord. But this isn't just about royalty, it mirrors the dynamics in our own lives. Think about the family disagreements you've experienced or observed. How often do they extend beyond the immediate people involved? Relationships strain, sides are taken, and the consequences can linger for years. Understanding this ripple effect can encourage us to approach conflicts with greater care and intention. Every action we take during a family feud sends ripples into the future, and we hold the power to decide whether those ripples will heal or harm. So, where do they go from here? The beauty of stories like these, both royal and personal, is that they're not fixed. Just as the British monarchy has evolved over centuries, the relationships within it can also change and grow. Harry and Charles have a number of possible paths forward, and their next steps could shape not just their bond, but the legacy they leave for future generations. A private reconciliation could pave the way for Harry and Charles to rebuild their bond. This would take humility from both sides, open and honest conversations, and a commitment to putting family above personal pride. A united front might also make a difference. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. A joint appearance or working together on a shared cause could show the world and themselves that their relationship is worth saving. But there's also the risk of a painful outcome. If the feud continues to grow, it could lead to permanent estrangement. While heartbreaking, this would serve as a powerful reminder of the price of unresolved conflict. Alternatively, they might create a new kind of relationship. By moving beyond traditional expectations, they could find a dynamic that works for them, even if it doesn't look like the typical father-son bond. And for us, there's a valuable lesson here. Conflict doesn't have to mark the end of a relationship. Instead, it can be the start of something better, a chance for growth and understanding. When faced with challenges, we all have the opportunity to turn them into meaningful change.